Welcome back to Get Well Soon, the Red Pill content of Welly F, aka Moriarty. Well, I tell you, these are some interesting times we are living in right now. I say that as I record this message from a smartphone, and as I do it, I'm consciously aware of the fact that this device that is recording my voice is actually probably one of the biggest threats to humanity as we speak. I don't mean that in a way of, I don't mean that to sound like a lunatic or a conspiracy theorist with no valid reasoning for why I've gotten here, but I'm going to make this message as concise as possible. As an American that truly believes that the system has always been broken, I find it amazing that the people that are in charge or have the privilege to make the decisions to advance civilization into a better state, it's scary to think that those same people don't have minds of their own. It's scary to think that the device that's in my hand is the device that is more in power than their own brains. I just recently had to come to the conclusion that as an average red pillar, as an average human being, I would just say that if you're in a group setting with about maybe 10 to 12 people, it's safe to say that 80 to 90% of those people are probably NPC. 80 to 90% of those people sitting in that group probably are unaware of everything that's going on around them, in a sense of they're not truly in control. They lack all the resources, the fundamental resources to actually reason for themselves, because now we stay in a big tech state. We are moving into a world where people don't even realize that their habits are being altered and controlled by a device that they brought into their lives to make easier for them. They've sacrificed objective thinking for convenience. They sacrifice objective thinking for what they believe makes life a lot easier. Your average person walking around these days can't even memorize a phone number. Your average person walking around these days is even speaking from a man's perspective. There are plenty of men out there that can't even change a car tire. There are men out there that probably sit down for 90% of the day and don't move. And once they get home, they just sit on the couch, scroll through their phone, looking at women, masturbating, salivating over women that they'll never have, wondering why the laws around them are constantly changing against them because they voted against their own personal interests. That's what happens when you no longer have the ability to think for yourselves, and all you're doing is thinking for the collective. Your whole individuality has been stripped from you, and you don't even realize it, because all you do is sit down all day, look at your phone. You let big tech create algorithms that have altered your opinion. So in that moment, when you see an opinion that you don't necessarily agree with over and over again, you just abide by it because you start to think that it's law. Repetition has many benefits, But one thing I've learned in the past 7 to 8 months is repetition will make some of the most feeble-minded people concede to things that they never in a million years thought they'd believe in. And I'm just going to end on this note. Jordan Peterson was one of the first people to make me realize that you think that just because history tells you to hate Nazis and you see Nazis as the oppressor, you see Nazis as the enemy, you think for a second that if you weren't in their shoes, and when I say in their shoes, I mean the people that never even thought in a million years that they'd be responsible for such heinous crimes. Those same people, those Nazis were NPCs. They never thought in a million years that they'd be in a position where they'd be putting people in death chambers. They'd be telling on their neighbors. They never thought in a million years that they'd be nationalist even. But see, the thing is, once something like that happens and gets a bad connotation, it just takes the next generation of intellectual people to manipulate certain words, manipulate certain definitions to make you think like you're one of them. But the fact of the matter is, Nazi circumstances were a little bit different. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of people around you today, if they were in the same shoes as those Germans, they'd be Nazis too. And the only reason people run around talking about nationalists or Nazis and that's all they see is because nationalist has gotten a bad connotation now. It's deeper than just being a nationalist. The variable is compliance. The variable is objective thinking. The variable is not being able to realize that what you're doing is morally wrong. It's unethical. Once you're able to think deeper about things that are affecting other people's lives, then better decisions can be made. But if you're just getting a bunch of propaganda in a repetitive state, you're probably going to end up just like a Nazi. And we're seeing it today. Don't let anybody tell you that, oh, you're going overboard. It's not that serious. Those same people are going to be eating crow when everything is over. What we're witnessing today is a globalization of one thought, the globalization of one ideal. And it's going to be scary when things start coming into fruition more and more by the day. And these same people that were so effortlessly willing to comply, these same people are going to be quiet, acting like they never were the people that brought these things into fruition. My advice to you is take note of these people. Remember who these people are. But also, my last advice is limit your social media exposure. Limit your media exposure. Only seek and search for information that is beneficial to you. Because in all honesty, nothing going on social media or current media right now is of your benefit. Nowadays, if you're looking at any corporate media sponsored entity, you're probably just going to be getting a narrative that you already know already. And it's going to be repetition. The same news that you see on Monday is the same news you're going to see next Monday. It's just going to be worded different. So stop wasting your time. Learn something new. Get out of the house. Better yourself. Seek your purpose. That's my message to you. Anyways, enjoy your day, enjoy your evening, enjoy your night, and until we meet again.